Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Coaching Pink Talk. This is Life Coach Cee Bercasio from the Life Coach Philippines, and this is Coaching for Unbarrenness. This coaching conversation is for individuals who wants to journey from lack to abundance. Okay? So lack, sila sabi kasi natin is that is also scarcity or barrenness, being barren or being arid, infertile, di ba? Because barrenness is not just in the womb and scarcity is not just in the pocket. So, and my mission is to help individuals, okay, as a life coach, my mission is to see individuals see their worth, their self-worth, their value as a person so that they can journey from lack to abundance and cultivate their own courage so that they can be able to pursue their dreams and live their purpose. Ayan. So thank you for joining me live again today. And please leave your digital footprints by letting me know where you are watching this from. So, nasa saang lugar ba kayo, probinsya ba kayo ng Pilipinas. So currently I am uh, doing this in Quezon province. So I am currently in Mulanay, the town of Mulanay in the province of Quezon. Ayan. So please do tag your friends and circulate this uh, please do tag your friends and circulate this video so that we can help reach more individuals who might be in need of what I am going to share with you today. And what I'm going to share with you today is about self-compassion. So this is a continuation actually of what I have shared with you on my last episode, which is about emotional baggage. Ayan, so you may also give some shout outs to the people you want to reach out and give some inspiring message. So, magtag lang kayo ng friends nyo, lagay nyo dyan sa comment box natin or share the link of this video in your timeline, in your Facebook page or FB group or in any social media that you are using, okay, para mas makatulong pa tayo sa mas marami. Ayan. So if you are watching this on a replay, please do comment #replay. So I am streaming via Facebook page of Life Coach Philippines and YouTube channel Coach AI Connect. So kung bago po kayo sa mga platforms na to, sa Coach AI Connect in YouTube and Life Coach Philippines sa Facebook group or Facebook page, please do like, follow, and subscribe so that you will be notified of future videos that may become available. Ayan. So again, let me just introduce myself to those who will encounter me for the first time. So I am Life Coach Cee Bercasio. I am a proud actively co-create certified life coach from the Life Coach Philippines. I am also one of the Master Builders Apprentice of Master Coach A, and our mission as Tribe Builders is to help you make your unstoppable dream come true. I'm also one of the VIP students of Master Coach A in the 6 Steps to Six Figure Speaking Career Program. Ito po yung program ni Master Coach A where we journey for 20 weeks learning about public speaking, and the culmination of this was the Samut Summit event or Samut Summit virtual event last August 10 and 11 where 20 coaching speakers delivered their message, showed up for the challenge of giving their message in just 5 minutes. Ayan. Okay, so I am also member of the coaching of the upskills blueprint ni Master Coach A. So here in this group, we get all our coaching toolkits. Dito po namin kinukuha yung mga toolkits na ginagamit namin for coaching other people. And also we use it for ourselves. I am also part of the Coach A Coaching Club. Ito po yung premium program ni Master Coach A for coaches and entrepreneurs. And I am part of the batch 1 that was held last year. Ayan. So I am also part of the B-Learning Society and I am a mental model collector. Kaya dyan po sa baba, makikita niyo po, may logo po dyan ng mental model collector. And I will be sharing with you more about how to become a member of the B-Learning Society towards the end of our episode today. Ayan, so I am also the owner and founder sorry, the founder and creator of the private Facebook group, Absolutely Worthy Coaching Community. So katulad nga na nasabi ko kanina, my mission is to help individuals see their value, their self first, so that they can journey from lack to abundance, and that they can have cultivate their own courage so that they can pursue their dreams and live their purpose. And this private Facebook group, Absolutely Worthy Coaching Community, is the group I created to be able to help these individuals. Because I really believe that we are all worthy, we are created worthy for the of the uh, beautiful things and better things that we desire in life. Ayan, so I'm currently doing these episodes of Coaching Think Talk. So ayan po kami, mga kasama na Coaching Think Talk, and I have done two segments. So kung current ko ngayon is Coaching for Unbarrenness. But before this, I have this Coaching for Actionable Motivation. And you can find those sa Facebook page ng Life Coach Philippines, and also in the YouTube channel Coach A I Connect. I'm also doing episodes in Decaf Coffee Republic Brewing Live. So this is a service, this is a live that we do every 12 noon. Okay, so may lunch break po tayo. So iba po kami nagto-talk doon, the different life coaches from the Life Coach Philippines. Ayan, so I will be doing my next episode in Brewing Live next week. Okay, so Thursday rin po yun. So I hope to see you there. Okay, so before I proceed with what I'm going to share with you, again, let me remind you to get your pack my bag moments. So ano ba yung mga pack my bag moments? So this is anything that resonates with you, anything that touches your hearts, or anything or any wisdom that you get from this episode that we are doing, that we are that I am sharing with you. And then what do we do with this knowledge, with this idea that resonates with us? So we can share it. We can share it to our in our Facebook timeline, in our Facebook page or Facebook group. Okay, so that as you have been blessed by this episode, you can also bless others with what you have learned today. Okay, so you may also uh, include the hashtag Coaching Think Talk so that others may know where you have learned it from. Okay, ayan. So we are now on our episode. It's about self-compassion. So as I said before, this is a continuation of my previous episode about emotional baggage. So ang tanong natin dati, di ba, what are the baggages, or what are the emotional baggage that weighs you down? And I have shared there six emotional baggage, or I think five emotional baggage that weighs us down. And the first emotion is about shame. Ayan, it's about shame, and how do we unburden ourselves of this shame that is weighing us down. Okay, so our episode today is Coaching for Unbarrenness, di ba? So as we journey towards unbarrenness, let's unburden ourselves of the emotional baggage that is weighing us down. So we can let go of the shame that we are carrying by practicing self-compassion. Ayan, para maging light yung travel natin. Sabi nga natin, di ba, let's travel light. Ayan. So, kita nyo naman doon sa photo, yung isang masyadong maraming dalahin, mabigat. So, as we journey through life, as we journey towards our goals, towards our dreams, di ba? Ang hirap na, ang bigat-bigat lagi ng dinadala natin. So, let's travel light. And my episode today is how we can cultivate more self-compassion and let go of that shame that is weighing us down. Okay, so first let us define what self-compassion is. So sabi nga dyan ni Christine Neff. Actually, Christine Neff is the authority when it comes to self-compassion. She's done a lot of research and studies about self-compassion. Okay? So, sabi niya dito, self-compassion is being kind and compassionate to yourself during times when you feel that you are inadequate, a failure, or suffering. Okay? Kasi 'di ba, yung shame, okay, shame, if we define shame according to Brené Brown, actually, shame is defined as, wait, sorry, ayan. So shame is the inner voice that continuously says, you are not enough, you are not good enough, you are not smart enough, you don't have what it takes to succeed. So you don't have what it takes to be loved. So meron ba tayong mga narrative na ganyan sa sarili natin? So that is an indication that we are experiencing shame, the emotion of shame. And according to Brené Brown, the authority naman ito on the study about shame and vulnerability. Okay, she defines shame as the intensely painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. So in effect, okay, we can reverse that feeling of being flawed, okay, and unworthy of love and belonging through cultivating self-compassion, through practicing self-compassion. Okay, so that hindi natin nafe-feel yung of us not being good enough, not being worthy enough. Okay, ayan. So, when we say, di ba sabi dito, is being kind and compassionate. So, how do we define compassionate? So, according to Christine Neff, Dr. Christine Neff. So, when we say compassionate, we define is these three ways. Okay, so first is that we notice the suffering. We notice the suffering in us. Or, di ba, being compassionate with other people is that we notice that other people are suffering, meron silang mga pinagdadaanan. Okay. So, ayan, sinod sa atin po dito yung may mga pinagdadaanan sa buhay. Okay. So, I think most of us have things that we are going through right now. Okay. Not only about the pandemic, but in other areas of our life, in our relationship, in our finances, at work, ayan. So, alam ko marami po tayong mga pinagdadaanan yan. So yeah, being compassionate means we notice the suffering. The second one is that we feel moved by it. Okay, we feel the warmth or the caring and that desire to help. This is what we feel when we are compassionate about other people. Okay, when we are compassionate about other people. And yun, similar lang din kasi how we become compassionate with other people is also how we become compassionate with ourselves. So we feel moved and we have this desire to help ourselves. Okay, and the third one is that we realize that the thing that we are feeling, yung pinagdadaanan natin, that suffering, that failure, or that imperfection, or those challenges that we are going through is really part of a shared human experience. Na hindi lang po talaga tayo yung nakakaranas nun, but there are also other people who are experiencing similar, okay, not maybe the same, exactly the same, but similar experiences that we have, that we are going through. So kung ano man yung pinagdadaanan natin ngayon sa buhay, definitely there are also other humans, other people who are experiencing a similar kind of challenge or suffering that you are going through. And actually, that's what makes us compassionate. Dahil naramdaman natin yung nararamdaman nila. We feel this empathy towards other people experiencing the same experience as us. Okay? So, since we are talking about shame, okay, ako kasi my experience of shame is about me being unable to bear my own child. So being childless, I so want to have my own child. Kaya lang after years of trying, so far, hanggang ngayon, wala pa naman. So I've been married for 12 years now and we don't have kids yet. So there was a time that I feel so much shame about that situation of me na parang lagi kong sinasabi before sa sarili ko, bakit anong kwenta mong tao, anong kwenta mong babae kung hindi ka rin naman magkakaanak, anong kwenta mong asawa kung hindi ka lang din naman magkakaanak. And I have a lot of self-judgment as well. So, and I hear a lot, I read a lot of others who have this similar experiences like me, yung mga hindi rin magkaanak, that they are also um, tawag doon, experiencing that pain, that fear, that longing to belong to belong, that belongingness, 'di ba? Kasi when we that having your own family is a kind of a way of us feeling that we belong, and when you cannot have that, okay, minsan nawawala tayo eh. Para hindi natin maramdaman yung sarili natin that we belong to a certain uh, group or a certain family, a certain uh, community. Well, it's really that feeling of belonging in a family of your own. Okay, so yon. So that's where my shame is coming from before, and I've kaya nakaka-relate po talaga ako with those people who are experiencing the same way. Okay, so yan po yung definition natin ng self-compassion, and why do we need to uh, study or to practice self-compassion? Why, bakit kailangan nating i-cultivate yung self-compassion? So here are three reasons why. So research shows that people who are more self-compassionate are, first, they are happier. They are happier. So practicing self-compassion leads to to more happiness, optimism, gratitude, and better relationship with others. And that is really true. Okay, when I learned how to become more compassionate with myself, okay, hindi na lang ako naka-focus on me being a failure kasi nga hindi ako magkaanak. But I recognize that the positive side of me, and mas nag-improve din yung relationship ko with other people, with my husband, with my family, with his family, with my friends, with my coworkers, with people who have their own family na dati parang inggit na inggit ako sa kanila, bakit sila may anak ako wala. Ayan. Okay, so another benefit of practicing self-compassion is being more resilient. We become more resilient when we practice self-compassion. So self-compassionate people bounce back more easily from setbacks and are more likely to learn from their mistakes. Bakit? Kasi tawag doon, being self-compassionate or being compassionate, we understand, sabi nga natin, di ba? We understand that suffering, failure, and imperfection is part of life, and it is shared by everyone. Okay, marami po tayong nakakaranas niyan at hindi lang tayo mag-isa. And it's really just part of the way we live in. So, we don't really dwell on tawag dito. So like it will be easier for us to look for the solutions on how we can bounce back from the challenges, from the failures, from the mistakes that we have experienced or that we have done. Ayan. So the third benefit of why we need to practice self-compassion is, of course, we become less stressed. Okay? So, sino po dito sa inyo ang masyado na pong stress? So, maybe practicing self-compassion is one way for you to experience less stress ngayong mga panahong ito. Okay? So, self-compassion is a powerful antidote to the self-criticism and perfectionistic thinking that can lead to stress, anxiety, and depression. So kung katulad ko po kayo before na may pagka-perfectionist, okay, and really ako ang lakas kasi talaga ng negative self-talk ko, I seldom talk to myself positively, or pag nakikita ko yung sarili ko, mas nakikita ko kung ano yung mga flaws ko, kung ano yung mga pagkukulang ko, kung ano yung mga pagkakamali ko. And that's why I really wanted to shift myself so much that time, and I am thankful for life coaching that I've learned about self-compassion, and that's how I was able to be more tawag dito, to be less stressed, okay, accepting myself as a human being, parang sabi nga natin, 'di ba, perfectly imperfect. Okay, so less than perfect, accepting myself as less than perfect, and there's nothing wrong with that. Ayan, so mas nabawasan din talaga yung stress ko when I learn to accept myself. Okay, so according to uh, Dr. Christine Neff, okay, self-compassion has three elements, and these are self-kindness, common humanity, or sometimes the common humanity, they call it connectedness, okay, us being connected with other people, and the third one is mindfulness. Ayan. So, when it comes to tawag dito, to self-kindness, this mean in simple terms, this just means be understanding ourselves and not judging ourselves or not punishing ourselves for the mistakes that we have done. So usually the self-kindness is match up with self-judgment. Okay, so sino po dito sa atin ang mga nakakaranas ng or madalas na nagja-judge ng kanilang sarili? Actually, kung mapapansin lang din natin, how we judge other people is also how we judge ourselves. Okay, so ano ba tayo? Mga judger ba tayo? Diba? Ito yung mga terms nila, judger. Okay, so let's just pause for a moment and check ourselves. Okay, what are the self that judgment that we have? Okay, ano yung mga judgment that we have about ourselves? Okay, so uh, self-compassion entails being warm and understanding toward ourselves when we suffer, fail, or feel inadequate or feel that shame in us rather than ignoring that pain, okay? Ignoring that pain or flagellating ourselves with self-criticism. Okay, so sometimes kasi kala natin yung self-criticism nakakatulong sa atin, pero sa totoo lang, let's assess, okay? Assess natin yung sarili mo, that is it really helping us when we criticize ourselves? Okay, so baka mas kailangan natin to be compassionate with ourselves. Self-compassionate people recognizes that being imperfect, failing, and experiencing life difficulties is inevitable so they tend to be gentle with themselves when confronted with painful experiences. Okay, rather than getting angry when life falls short or of the set ideas or when our expectations are not met. Okay. Um, Ayan, so people cannot always be or get exactly what they want, which is totoo naman. Okay? When this reality is denied or fought against, suffering increases. So when we deny our reality or when we resist or fight against what is the reality in our life, that's where actually that's when suffering happens. When we fail to accept what is truly happening, what is truly uh, that that's the current situation that we are in. Okay, so and yun nga, parang pwede bang ganito na lang or ano ba yan? Bakit ba ganito ako? Sana payat ako, sana maganda ako. Mga ganon. Okay? Sino sa inyo po yung may mga ganong tawag dito? Self-talk. Okay, so ayun, but when this reality is accepted with sympathy, empathy, and kindness, greater emotion of equanimity is experienced. Okay, search nyo po yung word na yan, equanimity. Ayan. So, common humanity, okay, let's go naman to common humanity. Or the connection is usually pit against isolation. Okay, because when we feel shame, okay, when we feel shame, we usually isolate ourselves. We don't want to talk to people. Ako dati, when I was feeling shame about my situation, sa totoo lang ayoko lumabas, ayoko makipag-usap sa tao. Kasi parang feeling ko, ano bang um, importanteng masasabi ko? Parang wala naman. Or tatanungin lang naman ako kailan ka magkakaanak. Eh di ba, parang wala nga eh, hindi ko nga alam eh. Pwede bang wag na lang tanungin? Di ba? May mga ganun tayong ano, yung mga ganun akong mga parang thinking to myself before. So, I isolate myself. Ayoko talagang nakikihalubilo ng ibang tao. However, okay, when we are compassionate to ourselves, okay, we realize that we all have shared experience and that's when we feel more connected with other people. Okay, so frustration at not having things exactly as we want is often accompanied by an irrational but pervasive sense of isolation. So as if I were the only person suffering and making mistakes. Kaya parang ako lang, ako lang naman yung ganto dito. Lalo na when most of your friends ay may anak na at ikaw na lang ang wala. Eh, di ba parang, okay, I don't seem to belong. Parang nag-iba na sila. Okay, parang yung mga feeling ta, iba na yung friends ko. Kasi iba na yung mga pinag-uusapan, iba na yung mga gusto. Ayaw na masyadong lumabas kasi may mga aalagaan na. So, we feel disconnected with other people when we feel shame. Okay? So, yun, but all humans suffer. We all have some kind of suffering at one point in time or another. Okay, the very definition of being human means that one is mortal, vulnerable, and imperfect. Okay, therefore, self-compassion involves recognizing that suffering and personal inadequacy is part of the shared human experience. It is something that we all go through rather than being something that happens to me alone or to you alone. Parang sa akin lang yata ito nangyayari. Hindi naman. So that's an element of self-compassion where we can be able to feel connected with other people suffering the same similar pain as we are going through. Okay, and the last one is being mindful or mindfulness, and this is usually pit against over identification or overthinking. A self-compassion also requires taking a balanced approach to our negative emotions so that feelings are neither suppressed nor exaggerated. So, hindi po natin sinusuppress yung feeling, yung negative feeling natin. Hindi po natin siya nire-resist. Hindi rin po natin siya ipinagwawalang bahala. Okay, when we feel shame, parang basta sabi natin sa sarili natin, ano ka ba? Wala yan, ba't ganyan yung, ba't ganyan yung nafe-feel mo? Wala lang yan. Ano lang yan, itulog mo lang yan, or ikain mo lang yan. Yung mga sinasabi natin. So, ah, ipinagwawalang bahala natin. But that is not actually self-compassion. So, it requires a balanced approach to our negative emotions. So, balansehin natin between suppressing that emotion or parang avoiding or wag, 'di ba parang ayaw nating lumabas yung ganun or sadness, 'di ba? When we feel sad, ayaw nating maging sad. So we suppress the emotion. When we get angry, okay? When we get angry kasi sometimes we have shame about us being angry, ba't galit ka? Ano naman kinagalit mo? Parang bawal magalit, diba? And then we feel that shame in us. So we suppress that feeling of anger. We suppress that feeling of sadness that we feel. Okay? But, so sabi nga dito, it's a balance between not suppressing it at the same time not over-exaggerating it. Okay? So, baka naman yun nga, yeah, we are sad. Kaya lang, masyado naman tayong nagfo-focus on that sadness, on that sorrow, that it will lead us to self-pity. That it will lead us to self-pity. So, let's be mindful about those as well. Okay, so, sabi nga natin, being, uh, it's okay not to be okay. Okay? Kaya lang, yun nga, what's not okay is when we don't do something about it or when we just indulge in it or we just dwell in that being not okay and remain in that state of not okay. Okay? So that's what being mindful means. Ayun. So, it is also stems from the willingness to observe our negative thoughts. So, we are willing to observe and we are willing to actually know more about that feeling, or that negative feeling that we are feeling with openness and clarity so that they are held in mindful awareness. Okay, so with openness and clarity. So that they are being held in mindful awareness. Let's just be aware. Let's acknowledge those negative feelings, neither suppressing it nor over exaggerating them. So that's what those are the three components of self compassion: self kindness, common humanity or connection, and mindfulness. Okay, so saan po kayo dyan? Saan pong aspect ng self-compassion yung gusto nyong unang okay, i-ano rin, i-practice or i-cultivate or let's be aware of it. Okay, and here I would like to share with you the 5 steps. Okay, the 5 steps to transform shame with self compassion, and this I actually got from National Institute of sorry, let me just get that. So it's National Institute for the Clinical Application of Behavioral Medicine. So you can get this from the www.nicab.com. nicabn.com. Okay, so this is the steps on how we can transform that shame that we are feeling with self-compassion. So the first one is that we understand the nature of our shame. We understand the nature of our shame. So no, that during that time, okay, that I was feeling the shame, initially talaga hindi ko na maalam that is really shame, no? So, but when I became aware that it is shame, mas pinag-aralan ko po kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng shame. And that's when that was the time that I read the book of Brené Brown, The Daring Greatly. And ang dami ko po talagang nalaman na natutunan from that book where which turned, okay, you turned my life, that shifted my life uh, into something better. Okay, mas naging bright po yung future ko when I was able to read that book. And yeah, understanding about shame can help cultivate that self-compassion, or that is the first step, okay, that the first step that we do, okay, so that we can transform shame with self-compassion. So shame is normal. Shame is the brain's way of dealing with the threat of disconnection. Okay, it's how our brain deals when we are threatened with disconnection or isolation with other people. Okay, so yung response niya dun is that feeling of shame. Okay, so that's the first step. Understand the nature of shame. Understand also, okay, it's also good to understand where is that shame coming from. Where is the shame coming from? Okay, ano ba yung mga kinahihiya natin? Ano rin kasi dito is ano yung mga tinatago natin? Ano yung mga meron tayo na ayaw nating malaman ng ibang tao? Siguro, that's the easiest way to understand what we are being shameful about. Ano yung mga tinatago natin? Ano yung mga bagay-bagay na ayaw nating malaman ng ibang tao? Okay? Because somehow there is an element of shame in there. And do check yourselves. Okay, the second one is that we label the shame. Okay, label the shame. Like, tawagin natin is shame. It is an emotion. I am feeling this emotion of shame about these things that I have done or that have happened to me in the past. It's uh, it's a kind of acknowledging, okay, that we are feeling shameful about that experience in our life. So label shame for what it is. It is an emotion. Giving it a name helps you get some distance between you and the emotion. Because when we give it a name, na pangalanan natin siya, mas madali sa atin maging objective. Pero kapag kasi hindi natin pinapangalanan or pinababayaan lang natin, nandyan lang sa tabi-tabi pero hindi talaga natin siya ina-identify. Ang hirap. Ang hirap natin siyang i-let go. Ang hirap natin siyang pakawalan. Okay? So, the next step, that's the step, label the shame. The next step is that we replace judgment with curiosity. Because when we feel shame, we tend to judge ourselves, our failure, our mistake, and then we feel that feeling of unworthiness inside of us. So let's replace that judgment that we have with being curious. So try to hold your experience of shame with curiosity rather than judgment. Okay, with curiosity rather than judgment. I am feeling shame right now. because of this experience in my life. Okay, bakit kaya? Alin dito yung kinahihiya ko? Anong aspeto nitong pangyayari na 'to yung kinahihiya ko? Let's be curious how our mind works, how our emotion works, okay? And tawag din, learn more, study more about it, okay? Curiosity about your emotions can help you shift into a more caring and understanding perspective. Okay? It can make us shift. Instead of judging ourselves, we become more curious about it. We become more objective about it, and we become kinder to ourselves when we shift from judgment to curiosity. Okay? So the fourth step that we have is that acknowledge your inner critic. Acknowledge the inner critic in you. Okay? It's helpful to be aware that your inner critic often likes to amplify your shame. Diba? You know that you are feeling that shame already, and then dugtungan pa or what the- adding fire. Diba? Adding fire to it, or parang um, dinadagdagan pa, sinusulsulan pa ng inner critic natin yung feeling of shame natin. Okay, so let's acknowledge that may ganun tayong tendency when we feel shame, when we feel that emotion of shame. Okay, dadagdagan pa rin yan ng inner critic natin. So, yun nga, it's helpful to be aware that your inner critic often likes to amplify your shame. Remind your inner critic that you are a work in progress, trying to navigate the best that you can. So let's silence that inner critic in us. Okay, and remind ourselves that we are doing the best that we can with the current information that we have. Okay, madalas kasi meron din tayong mga uh, nasasabi sa sarili natin, bakit ba ganito yung mga naging desisyon ko? Bakit ba ganito yung desisyon ko kahapon? Sana hindi na lang. Especially when it failed. Ngayon, alam mo na kung anong na resulta, naranasan mo na anong resulta. Ay, sana hindi na lang ganun yung desisyon ko. Ano ba yan ang bobo ko? Ba't di ko inala? Diba? Yung mga ganun kasi tayo. So, let's be mindful of that. Let's keep ourselves check about that, and acknowledge that that our inner critic might be working here, and it is working against us, not uh, in favor of us. Ayan. So fifth step, according to this, is to practice what is helpful and not what is harmful. Okay, so let's practice what is helpful and not what is harmful. So try to speak to yourself like you would to a friend. Can you ask yourself what actions would be helpful or recovering from this experience? Okay. So when we talk to a friend, 'di ba, parang tawag doon, tinatanong natin, how can we recover from this experience? 'Di ba, paano kita matutulungan? 'Di ba? Let's also give that talk to ourselves. Paano kita matutulungan, self? Okay. Paano kita matutulungan maka-recover from this experience? Okay, so rather than actions that might perpetuate it. Or yun nga, instead of, uy, dito na lang tayo. Okay, inom na lang, inom na lang tayo. Okay, so let's check ourselves if that is really helping us, or if it is harmful for us. Remember, self-compassion is also being kind to ourselves, and it is not just for the short term, hindi lang yung magiging indulgent tayo, but it is also for the long term. It is also for the long term. Hindi lang yan yung pang madalian lang. Okay. Sabi nga dito, di ba, parang being compassionate to oneself mean that you want to be happy and healthy in the long term. And it may involve a certain measure of displeasure or discomfort. Okay? being compassionate to ourselves does not mean that we indulge and we like ano lang pamper ourselves lang so that we can feel good, but it also involves some measure of this pleasure or discomfort because we want to be happy and healthy in the long term. In the long term, that's the key here in self-compassion in the long term. Okay, so practice what is helpful and not what is harmful. Okay, so yeah, these are the 5 steps that we can take so that we can transform shame with self-compassion. So the first is understand the nature of the shame that we are feeling. Second is to label the shame. Third is to replace judgment with curiosity. Fourth is to acknowledge your inner critic kasi meron po talaga tayo na. And fifth is to practice what is helpful instead of what is harmful. Okay, so that's what I am. That's what the thing that I'm going to share with you today. So I hope that you are able to get your my back moment. So saan po dito kayo na-connect? Saan po dito kayo nag-resonate? And if you have question, okay, if you have question in any points that I have discussed here, if you want to know more about it, or if you want help on how you can apply it in your life, so you can just connect with me. Okay, so you can call me in this number 0917-801-9550 or email me at coachceebercasio at gmail.com. I would also like to invite you inside my private Facebook group, Absolutely Worthy Coaching Community, so that I can uh, better help you deal with what you are currently going through with the suffering that you might be going through if you have connected with any points that I have shared with you during this talk. Okay, so uh, let's travel light. Okay, so let's unburden ourselves as we journey towards unbarrenness. Okay, so for the next episodes I might be sharing to you more about the other four emotional baggages so that we can travel light in our journey through life. Okay, so my question that I would like to leave you today is how can you practice self-compassion today? How can you practice self-compassion today? Okay, so I would like also to invite you to connect with me for this 6-week one-on-one coaching journey where you can learn to face your fears and break through life challenges in pursuit of what truly matters to you. Okay, I have this program, Live a Life of Courage. So let's bring out that courage in you and claim the life that is rightfully yours. A life of freedom, abundance, and joy. Ayan. Okay, so I would also like to invite you to join us inside the 5-minute talk club. So kanina I've talked about being a VIP student inside the 6 steps to six-figure speaking career program. And although we have our culmination activity last August 10 and 11 for the Summit virtual event. Pero hindi po doon nagtatapos yun. So we want also to help others, okay? And that fear of public speaking or and glossophobia. So the 5-minute talk lab is is created precisely to address that fear so that we can learn how to express ourselves more. Okay, so in this club or in this group, we teach you, okay, the 5-minute speech formula that we have used during the Samot Summit virtual event. So, inviting you to join us inside that group. Okay? And as we end this conversation, let me invite you to be part of what we are doing as an organization of certified professional life coaches. And if you want to be, so if you are not yet a smart holder of the Be Learning e-card and you are still missing all the perks that we enjoy today. So that we enjoy today is the best time for you to take action. Connect with Coach Giselle at 0917-586-1661 to join the Be Learning Society and be be a mental model collector like us. Ayan. So, B-Learning Society is the tent maker of the B-Learning homes for mental fitness. So, we have Master Coach A has a vision of building a facility for mental fitness. Ayan, so nakikita nyo naman po yan dyan. And as a member of the Be Learning Society, you can enjoy several perks. So one perk is having a 5% discount with your food and beverage orders at the Cup Coffee Republic. And the second perk that you can have is the mental model masterclass, which happens ano yan, every month meron kaming mental model masterclass, and the next mental model masterclass will be on November 27, 2021 at 7 p.m. So nakikita niyo po, kilala niyo po ba yung personality na nandyan po? So that is Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, okay, the empire of Amazon. And sa next mental model masterclass natin, we will learn, okay, yung mga ginamit ng mental model, how he become successful. So, the mind of Jeff Bezos nga po ang nakalagay natin dito. What's inside the mind of Jeff Bezos? So, if you are curious to learn about that and to be able to have similar success that he has, so I would like you to invite you to join us inside the Be Learning Society. So just connect with me, or you can connect with Coach Rizal at 0917-586-1661. I am. And the third perks that we can have is actually the 90-minute free coaching session with senior life coaches from the Philippines. So if you want to experience how it is to be coached, okay? So this is one of the best way for you to avail of that service. So join us inside Be Learning Society and be a mental model collector like us. Okay? Ayan. And also, okay, for those individuals who wants to embark on a journey of becoming certified life coaches like us. Okay, so Master Coach A offers the co-actively co-create life coaching life coach certification program. So this is a CPD accredited course with 40 credit units. So kung sino po sa inyo dyan yung naghanap ng CPD units, this is one course for you. Okay, so meron po yung 40 credit units. So CPD, ano nga ba CPD? CPD is all about learning new things or refreshing your knowledge by doing new things. And this is what makes co-actively co-create life coach certification program the perfect track for your continuing professional development. So life coaching is a 21st century learning experience that is empowering professionals to enhance their skills in multiple domains and thereby increasing their relevance in the increasingly complex workplace. Ayan. So I hope to see you in one of the classes in one of the certification classes ni Master Coach A. Okay, so actually you can start already with just 5,000 pesos, or actually that's $100. You can already start, okay, on your journey. So co-actively co-create life coaching certification program includes a 21-day web-based learning. Okay, so when you register with just 5,000 pesos, okay, you can already start on that 21-day uh, web-based journey. So on learning how to be a life coach. Ayan. So aside from the 21-day web-based learning uh, program, ang kasama din po doon sa total program po natin is of course a 3-day live coaching bootcamp with Master Coach A, and also a 3-day live business bootcamp with senior coaches from the Life Coach Philippines. So hindi lang po yan talaga nagtatapos sa certification, meron din po yang kasamang business bootcamp so that we can learn how to apply, how to monetize the profession of life coaching. Okay, so the program package also comes with many other bonuses. Okay, so marami pa po yung bonus. So just connect with Coach Rizal at 0917-586-1661 to discover the opportunities waiting for you in this profession. Okay, so do join us again tomorrow for uh, another set of coaching conversation. So at 10 o'clock, nandyan po si Coach Cee for Coaching for Engaged Life. And at 2 p.m., Coach Winnie Nang will be joining you for coaching for victorious living. And of course, at 4 p.m., nandyan po si Coach Candy for coaching for mental fitness. So I hope to see you again tomorrow for tomorrow's episode of Coaching Think Talk. Okay. So once again, this is Life Coach Cee Bercasio from the Life Coach Philippines for Coaching Think Talk. Coaches like us think and talk like this. This is us from the Philippines. Love bang boom, love bang boom, love bang boom. Bye.